All right, this is the Hunter Call of the Wild. Look at that. I got a bugler. Here I am in my tent, out in the wilderness somewhere. Actually, I'm kind of lost, to be honest. Naturally, I could just take a look at the map and see exactly where I'm at. But what I want to do today is give you my first impressions of the Hunter Call of the Wild. I don't even have 60 hours of play yet. I got this during a Christmas sale. It was a Christmas Steam sale, and I was kind of disappointed. Usually I look forward to big market reductions during the Christmas Steam sales of 65, 80%, and I couldn't find anything. And the Call of the Wild, the Hunter, the Call of the Wild was the only thing I came across, and it's not really the type of game, the type of game I normally would play. I do a lot of simulators and stuff, and this could be considered a hunter simulator. Through the years, I kind of briefly looked at some different ones, and to me, they're more like shooterama type of things. Like you go to a carnival and you shoot things as they roll by. And in the past, it didn't seem all that attractive to me, and so I thought, well, hey, this is the one item that is on a major reduction, and I kind of think that the developers were genius in their financial thoughts of how to promote this game and make good money on it, because you get into it and the next thing you know, you want to buy different guns and weapons and outfitting type of things, and it just kind of draws you in, and it's wonderful. It actually is. And here's the map. This is the map you get. You get, I think, two maps, two scenery packs with the original game, which, like I said, on the Christmas sale was $3. $3. I mean, I just figured, what can I lose for that kind of money? So, I just went ahead and got it. And let's see. I want to show you and see what I thought. And so it was a few weeks after Christmas before I even installed it and started playing with it. And boy, I got to tell you, I'm loving the game. I absolutely love it. It drew me in, and the scenery about it, all those things just drew me in. And I am looking. This is the interface that you get when you get the game, besides the map. And I think what I need to do is switch over to this. Nope, that's the same interface. Not what I thought. The menu system actually is quite nice. It's very logical. But for some reason, I just wanted to look at my guy. My skills, my perks, but my guy in particular. And I forgot where that is in the grand scheme of things. But I'm out here. I got my dog. The dog doesn't come with the game. It's a downloadable content. But they're very nice to have. The tent doesn't come with the game. That's also downloadable content. Also something I got. And I'll talk to you about my recommendation from a newbie standpoint. Totally new. I'm only at, let's see, level 8. I'm at level 8. And I think some people said you don't really get serious about the grind until you're at like level 16 or so. The grind, I'll be talking about that, but I want to talk first about my overall impressions. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I got it, from the get-go, I started loving the game and just enjoying it, enjoying exploration. I'm not, in actual life, I'm not a hunter. I am a fisher. I do a lot of fishing, deep sea fishing as well as lake fishing, and just enjoy fishing and do quite a bit of it. But you know, it's not that I wouldn't love hunting. I've spent a lot of time out in the wilderness and probably have more days sleeping in a tent than your average person would, for sure. Spent a lot of my life living out of tents, and in the northeast of the United States, and now I live in Florida. But I'm loving this game, and it's just everything about it. It's outstanding environmental. The scenery pack that comes with it. I've only explored this one, the one that you start off in the tutorial, Lawton Lakes, and I have not explored the European map. I think that's all you get is those two maps. Maybe there's a third, but I think it's just those two with the original game, with the base game, which, like I said, I paid $3 for. But it's quite fun. I mean, so the animal life that comes, the different scenery packs have different animal life in it. But, you know, there's deer, white-tailed deer, black-tailed deer, there's moose, there's bears, there's coyotes, there's rabbits, and there's ducks and turkeys, and a lot of different animal life to go out there and explore. And you can explore it. I don't know why this is not showing full screen. Of course, when I'm recording, it's not showing full screen. I don't know what the deal is with that. But maybe I'll edit that out. But this is a little different. I'm just giving you my initial impression of the game, and my feeling about it. And so I'm going to tell you, I love it. I do have some guns, and very easy to use the different ones. And this is one of the guns that comes with the game, and it's it'll get the job done. But eventually you want to go ahead and level up to where you can buy some additional guns. Or, you know, even get some downloadable content that has supplementary guns besides the ones that you can level up and purchase within the base game. But we'll just walk around. Like I said, this is not a guide to how to play or any of that. It's just giving you my thoughts. Now, so my basic thought is I'm loving this game. I'm actually almost addicted to it. I'm playing it an awful lot and enjoying every minute. But I do have some thoughts about the community, because I've learned a lot from the community. It's an outstanding community. I had not done any multiplayer, but I've learned so much about how to play in the guides and the tips and the tricks. With only 60 hours of gameplay, I'm not the one to do that for you. But the community's out there, plenty of YouTube videos. I just chased off, you see the, look like elk I just chased off into the distance, because I'm not being soft-footed here. I can get down a little and soften my step, see if I can catch up to those. Because it looks like I got some still down. There they are. I still have the basic scope, which is not all that grand. And I find it difficult to hit from a distance with the initial scope that comes with it. So I have to creep a little closer to get my targets. But once you get the better scope, which I think is $16,000. Everything is extremely expensive. I can't explain the financial system or the prices on anything. It's just like extremely. Even a dog is like thousands of dollars. I can imagine a good bloodhound costing $4,000 or $5,000, but I think I think the first one you buy, downloadable content is free, but after that, I think they're like 30,000 or some ridiculous price. Ooh, there's a nice buck. That thing would stop. Maybe I can take... Is it a buck? Or maybe a doe. Let's see if we can creep a little further. I'm going to have to tell the dog to stay here. So, before he gets me in trouble, I'll tell him to stay. Line up on this doe. Now, when you first start out, you're not going to be picky about what you shoot at. You're just going to go ahead and kill everything because everything gives you money. And, oh, she won't give me a broad shot, which as a beginner, you definitely need a broad shot. I'm going to chase her off. I'm not careful. And there's a way to hold your breath. But every time I hold my breath, the animal moves. So like I said, I'm a beginner. I'm not just too good at this yet. And with a better scope, you'll see this. Look, she won't stay broad for... Oh, look at this one here. Ah, what an idiot. I don't think I hit her. I didn't mean to squeeze the trigger. That was silliness. I was just, you know, as I'm talking and I don't know. I didn't... It's a sensitive trigger. So I am on a PC, by the way, but I am using an Xbox controller. And I had no intention of pulling the trigger, and I don't know. Beginner stupidity there. So I did... you can run, by the way. I'm just going to go... as far as I know, I totally missed. But just run over here just to see if I... didn't behave like I hit it at all. But anyway, the game is a lot of fun. The animals are out there. But I do want to talk to you about a little bit about the community. A lot of good information out there. But I found something very interesting that just was shocking to me. And that is the grind. The grind, as we know for any of us that play computer games, the grind is always the necessary evil that you go through in order to make money and to get points to level up. And, you know, so it's the necessary evil that you do. Everybody hates it because you're going through a whole series of steps, rinse and repeat, and then the grind gets to be mundane and just... awful. Good games, what good games will do is they'll do everything they can to hide the grind into a more enjoyable gameplay, so you're not realizing you're grinding as you're doing it, but eventually you will. So the grind is for sure the necessary evil in most games that people hate, complain about, and wish there was ways that we can play the game more freely without having to grind. That's not the case. I was astounded. It's not the case with the Hunter. All people want to talk about on YouTube and social media is how to do the grind, and they're loving the grind, and it's all about the grind. And I find the grind, what are we talking about? In this particular game, the grind is this. Here's the steps. You're on foot. You go to the nearest lookout tower. So you find that on your map. And having trouble. Oh, here we go. So zooming in here, there's a pair of binoculars on that icon in the center, and that is a lookout tower. So it's usually at the peak of a mountain. You're gonna hoof it up to the top of that. And once you're up to the lookout tower, you may be able to find some zones where animals are. The more you level up, the better you're able to do it. But basically, you're going to open up outposts, these little houses. And once you find an outpost, that's the next step in the grind, because at the outpost, that's where you can, when you level up and you got points, you can go to an outpost and you can buy things from it, because otherwise you're not capable of buying things when you're out on foot. And you also can rest and sleep and do all the things you need to do when you're at an outpost. And most of all, there's a lot of map. And in order to get from one place to another, you're hoofing it. You know, it's all on foot, and so it's difficult to get around. You're doing a lot of hiking, but once you have an outpost and you hike a distance away, you can quick travel back to the outpost. I liken this to Star Trek teleporting, and like a lot of the VR games where you can teleport from one place to another. So you can, they call it quick travel in this game. You can quick travel, and it's just one of the things that you want to do is grind out as many lookout towers and outposts as you can find, so you can quick travel all over the map and teleport yourself all over Kingdom. The next part of the grind is once you got those outposts and you're starting to figure out where the need zones are. These are the zones where the animals are sleeping, feeding, and drinking, and there's 3 different zones, so they're going to be and traveling in between those 3. And so once you locate them, that's where you can go out and shoot your animals and make your money and get your trophies and look for bigger, better animals. And the next part of the grind is then wildlife management. And wildlife management is simply this: if you just shoot everything, you kill off the zone, and you know, and it can accidentally wipe out a whole area. So you want to manage that. In fact, you want to manage it by not just killing does but killing the biggest and best bucks you can. I'm a newbie, so I could be saying this wrong, but by doing that, it'll regenerate bigger and better bucks. And then the next part of the challenge would be then to go look for even bigger bucks. And each of your kills gives you a rating, how good of a kill, how hard it was, and how big and bad and of a trophy you got. And and they give you a bronze medal, silver medal, a gold medal, and if you really get the biggest and the best, you get the diamond. And everybody's looking for the diamond on every species, on every map, until they got all the diamonds. And the grind is the way to do it. And I think that's why the people love the grind. But even more of a challenge, every now and then you come across a rare animal that is, like an albino or something that's unusual, maybe not the biggest and baddest, but rare, very rare animal. And you want to get those too. So the rares are something you're looking for. And then I've never even got a diamond. I don't even know. I'm barely making medals. I'm just making money to level up. I'm just talking, out of my limited knowledge here. But of course, then once you get a diamond, you want to go look for the great one. The great one is that rare, awesome, unusual trophy of all trophies. I think, and it's a great one. So I'm not even close. I've never seen such an animal yet myself. But I wanted to tell you about it because that is the grind. You find the outpost on the map. You run to all the different outposts. You find a lookout to find, and once you're at the lookout, you can find the outpost near it. Then you go to the next lookout, find the outpost near those. And you can fast travel between those posts, and you're also looking while you're going on the map as part of the grind to find the zones, find the wildlife, manage the wildlife, increase your money, your trophies, and eventually even get the diamonds, the rares, and the great ones. Rinse and repeat and grind again, and everybody loves it. And I'm like, well, this now is another carnival event of a shoot-a-rama, and people just want to fast travel quick as they can to a zone, kill all the animals, at least the big ones, to regenerate even bigger ones. And I don't know. That's like, I think, 95% of everybody. There's a competitive type of mindset. I'm a different type of person. I'm more of an explorer, and I'm not so competitive. And I'm loving the game because it has the exploration part of it. But I do want to go into the next little piece from a beginner's point of view. Let's get out of the map, because you poor people are listening to me talk and not seeing anything. We see in front of me is a something making noise up ahead. I'm actually on a foot trail here, a regular path for a hiking path. And I want to get into some recommendations. I do not like the idea of the fast travel. It's just not real to me. I mean, teleporting? By the way, even if you don't find an outpost somewhere and make it and claim it to be a fast travel point, there's no saving the games. Like, if I just want to quit right now and then come back in later, it won't bring me back in here. It'll bring me back to the last outpost or the very beginning of the game where you start. But once you find the first outpost, it'll bring you back to that outpost, and then as you find other outposts, it'll continue to bring... what is that? That's a couple. Let's see if I can sneak up on those. So what I want to do is tell my dog to sit, and I'll kind of see if I can sneak up and do a better shot. Like I said, I'm terrible at this right now. I'm just beginning, but I'm loving the game. I am absolutely loving it. But I'm not really into this fast travel stuff. But as I was saying, you can't just save the game anywhere. You end up, when you go out, let's say you gotta go to work, go to school, go somewhere, go eat dinner, or you're tired of playing. You can't just save it here and come back and look at these animals. So, I definitely hit that animal. And I think I'm using I'm using the smallest gun possible, so this thing's going to run forever. But I'm going to use a dog to track it. And we'll probably be running around while I'm talking to you. But you can't save. So there is a remedy for that, and I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But in other words, here we are. And so once I find the blood here, you can then track the blood by examining it. And I did hit a vital organ, so, this is a goner. And so, come here, bud. Gotta get my dog. Now, you don't get a dog, so you have to track this on foot normally as a beginner. And so I'm going to tell him to go ahead and track. So he's going to come over here and sniff the blood and start. Come on. Because the dog never obeys when company's around. Whoop. All right, let's go. There he goes. Go, buddy, go. And as you can see, now the game itself has it can be kind of arcadey when you first start out. It has all kinds of clues that are highlighted, and it'll highlight the tracks and everything you go. I turned all that stuff off. Look at this, a deer right there, for Pete's sakes. Running right by me. It's a doe. So one of the things about having a dog, and there's another doe right there, see? They're just all over the place. I gotta come back for that one. I don't think she's gonna go too far. Yeah, she's down already. So it's a female. As you can see, I didn't get any trophy at all. It says none on the bottom left there. I did get $842 of cash. And I'm going to go ahead and accept this. I do level up a little bit. It's nice. Now let's go back to the dog who's tracking my other animal. Get going, bud. What are you, sometimes he starts getting confused, but he seems... Yeah, as you level up, once you get a dog, they level up too, and they get better and better at tracking. So sometimes when they first start going, you almost have to train them. So you almost have to track it yourself. But they're definitely better than you, and they make this whole ordeal a lot quicker, because sometimes the animals run way off, and especially if you're using one of the guns that comes with one of the smaller caliber guns that comes with it. Look at these animals. They're just all over the place. I'm right in the middle of a traveling zone, I think. In fact, I found that a lot of the community, when I'm watching the YouTube videos, they're running and shooting. It's like, wow. That's more of to me, a shoot-a-rama than it is a hunting simulator. Now the dog, if you get kind of fall behind, the dog will stop and wait and bark. And, because I have no idea where he is right now. There he is. He's waiting on me. There's that blood. Oh, by the way, every time you push examine track, it puts a little spot on the map in case you get lost. And I'll show you that now. Whoops. Well, I said I'd show it to you, but I don't see. I only hit one. That little red dot there is the spot I'm talking about. All right, I'm coming. Where'd you go? There's animals all over the place. You know, trying to find this on my own without the dog, I did a lot of that because I didn't get the dog right away. It is a payware thing that you have to get. But it sure makes life a lot easier. Let him do the work and I just follow him around. Because you can track the blood yourself, like I said. But the game is wonderful. I'm very much enjoying it. Tracking this deer now, I've lost my concentration of where I was going, what I was talking about. So the bleed rate, oh, there he is. And then once he finds it, he just barks. And I got another doe, another $500. So if I'm really getting serious about the game, I'm going to stop hitting does and get the bucks, and do that sort of thing. So there you go. There's a good idea what the game's about. My first impressions, my opinions. I'm absolutely flabbergasted about how people love the grind and are actually running and shooting and doing more of a shoot-a-rama, and I'm just trying to explore the game. I guess I'm not the competitive type. I'm more of the enjoy it, and but I do want to go through and tell you, as much as everybody else, the competitive people love the game, even people like myself that want to take the tracks away and not fast travel, you can do that and do more exploration and take your time and just shoot at bucks. It'll take you a little longer to level up and stuff, but you don't have to do the grind. But most people love the grind because they want to get those diamonds and the rares and the great ones. But here is the one piece I want to tell you about, is on the downloadable content. There is some downloadable content that changes everything. One is, and I would say the biggest one, is the tent. Now, I don't have any tents on me, but you saw at the beginning, I came out of a tent. A tent functions just like an outpost. So what's kind of neat about the tent, if before I start the day, I pull up the tent and I can keep it in my pack, and it would be in my pack here. I should have done that so you could see. And then sometime during the day, if I just want to save the game right where I'm at, I can deploy the tent, exit the game, and when I come back in, it will bring me right back in the same time and place and location, and I can pick up my tent and go again. So the tent is like, not only that, the tent lets you do everything a little cheaper than if you go to an actual outpost. The prices are for resting, or it costs you to rent the lodge for the night to rest there. But if you just use your own tent, it's about half the price, or definitely maybe not half, but it's a lot better price. And you can also, strangely enough, at your tent, purchase all the goodies. The other thing I highly recommend is if you want to be more realistic and not teleport yourself around like Star Trek space age people, and actually, but not have to run on foot, get the ATV. The ATV is a four-wheeler motorcycle in a sense, and it'll get you everywhere you're on the map, and it's a lot of fun to drive, and it takes all your stuff, and you can get around. And to me, that is I don't use fast travel anymore. Don't use it. The only time I ever end up fast traveling is if I got to get out of the game to do something in real life, and I exit out of the game, it will fast travel me back to my last outpost or wherever my tent is. And and that's not too bad of a deal, So in immersion wise, you just consider yourself moving back to where you were. But there's those two downloadable contents. The tent definitely, I think, is without question, because it saves the game where you're at, and it gives you an additional outpost, is almost an essential thing to buy. And it is $4. But before you go out and buy that, consider this: there are bundles. And the second thing is the ATV, and of course the dog. The dog is one that is phenomenal, because the dog is, I got to just say, it's just enjoyable having the dog with you. It really is. It's just, everybody loves the dog, and it's something else that adds to the game. He has to level up. You kind of have to train him a little bit, or work with him as he levels up. And he had saved me from running around and tracking all the blood and stuff, especially since I'm not using the highlight cheats for tracking, the glow cheats. That the dog is kind of a realistic way of doing a track and getting your killed animal. The bloodhound is definitely something I highly recommend. Maybe not essential, but highly recommend. And then the fourth thing that is recommended is to get yourself, what I have here is the Modern Gun Pack. And the Modern Gun Pack gives you a higher caliber, higher caliber gun. So I got a 308. I got let's take a look here. I got that is the 22 for small game and just pot shotting. And there's actual a medium caliber gun I don't have on me. I think this is the Ranger that comes with the game. You already have this. So it comes with 3 guns, and it's worthwhile because it's going to save you some time, like knocking down some of the bigger animals. You can do that with the Modern Gun Pack. And when you buy the pack, the guns are free. So when you go to the store, you don't have to level up or kill a lot of game to make the money to buy the gun. The gun is free, but you do have to buy the bullets, and so they're expensive. So those are kind of recommended stuff. But what I did was I went and I knew I wanted those things. I certainly wanted the tent, and I wanted the dog, and I wanted the ATV. Those for sure were definites. But there's a bundle. It's called the Essential DLC Bundle. And I highly recommend that. But before you do, hear me out. The Essential DLC bundle comes with the dog, the ATV, the tent, and the tent also includes some blinds, which is fantastic. And it includes the modern gun pack. And in addition to that, it gives you a trophy lodge. There's a trophy lodge, a small trophy lodge that comes with the game, but this gives you the favorite trophy lodge that's really big and gives you plenty of place to do your taxidermy and put your animals in if you get some good ones. So those are all come in a nice bundle, and I jumped on it, but I say, wait a minute, I jumped on it too quick, because there is another bundle. I can just walk the trail now. There is another bundle that is, especially if you hadn't bought the game, if you hadn't got the game yet, and you like, I want to get the game, then it was fantastic that I got the game for $3, but I end up paying more than this bundle by the time I get done doing what I'm about to tell you. By the time I get done buying DLC, but I'm going to tell you how you can save on that. There is a bundle called the Seasoned Hunter Bundle. The Seasoned Hunter Bundle comes with the base game, the ATV, the tent, with the blinds, the Bloodhound, the modern gun pack, everything, and the lodge, everything I just told you that I got with my old Essential bundle. It includes all that, plus the base game, plus it includes Weapon Pack 1 and Weapon Pack 2. That's 6 more weapons that come. And the high-tech gear, which allows you to, see at night type of stuff. Along with that, this bundle comes with 2 additional scenery maps. The Silver Ridge Peak, which is a beautiful Colorado scenery, quite a lot like this one here, but it's more of the Colorado type of animals. This is up in the Pacific Northwest, and it has a different type of deer, and I don't have it, but I want it. And then it also comes with the African savanna, the Varhogo. I don't know how to say it, but so it comes with 2 packs. Now those packs are $8 a piece. That's $16 alone. But this whole bundle is only $22. But once again, the recommended for anybody who hasn't bought the game, or even if you had the game but you hadn't bought any DLC, go ahead and if this interests you, get the Seasoned Hunter Bundle. It comes with the ATV, the tents and blinds, the Bloodhound, the modern gun pack, the Weapon 1 pack, the Weapon 2 pack, the high-tech pack, the Silver Ridge Peak, and the Savannah, the African Savannah. And, who wouldn't want to go do some big game hunting in Africa? So it is, what a deal that is. So that's my recommendation. And this is just the newbie's response, initial response after just spending a few times. I've never been out of this particular map itself. And I just want to explore this and go through the missions. There are missions you can do. You don't have to. You're free to hunt the way you want. Or you can do missions. Or do both at the same time. But it's been a lot of fun. I'm loving it. Glad you stopped by. I'm Gene Harm. Some of you may be listening in from my channel from doing railroader work and simulation and other type of simulators that I do. But this is a new simulator for me, and this is just my reaction to it, and it's a great game. It's definitely worthwhile. Catch you next time.